In these next few minutes, we'll be going over our full tech stack that we're getting ready to release live in front of our HQ training, something that we've been quietly working on behind the scenes for the last 6 months. And how this changes the game, starting with our lead center. The speed of the lead that you're getting. Number 2 is the lead quality that is unmatched because we're able to filter numerous filters before the lead even comes in, starting with disconnected numbers, people that are 85 and older, people that your teammates have already sold. And what that does, it protects your business against some of the heaviest hitters in the industry. And luckily, most of them are on your team. And most importantly, the 24/7 support that you're going to get behind the scenes. And what this tech stack does is it gives you every single resource that you need in-house without having to go out there and get poached by vendors that don't have your best interests. Stick with me to the end of this video, and I'm going to show you how this changes the game for you. All right, so big week loading up this week. We got a lot of exciting stuff. Oh, it's me that's looking over here. We got a lot of exciting stuff that we've been working on for you guys for quite a while. Let me just hop up the slides for today. All right, so big week loading. We have a ton of stuff that we just came out with that we have been working on for a while. So super exciting week for the playbook and the direction we're getting ready to head into in this second half of the year. But before we start, come here. We've got a really special day. It's Zane's birthday today, so let's give him a round of applause. But this is, yesterday was like, I was thinking about something yesterday, and it was like one of the most memorable days of my career, like strangely, right? So what did you want for your birthday? Tell them.
A honey crab.
What did we do yesterday for like 2.5 hours?
I got a real pet honey crab.
So this is one of the best moments of my career because it's not like the buying a hermit crab for $8, but yesterday I went home to watch my kids real quick, and I'm like, okay, like we got to start the search. He's like, I want my hermit crab. I want my hermit crab today. So just being in the opportunity to be able to slip out of work, you know, after we've built something so special for a few hours to go find 3 hermit crabs for this little 5-year-old kid that wants a hermit crab for some reason for his birthday was just special. It tells you like what can happen in this business if you just continue to focus and lock in what can happen to your family, you know? Now look at years later, I'm running a training in the office with kids on my lap like it's nothing, like they're not even here. I'm not affected, fazed by it, but that's like the whole purpose of this business is for everybody in here one day to have their own family to be able to provide the same thing back. So that's our goal for everybody here, but we wanted to shout out Zano before we started up today's meeting. Now, those of you that haven't booked for Ignite, it's a little bit early. I know we've continued to announce it, but definitely have it on your radar here in the next, I would say month or so to start looking for flights, look at stay, look at B&Bs, look at hotels, whatever the case is. Hey, let's go. B&Bs, hotels, whatever that is, and just start coordinating with your teams and try to be on the same schedule, you know? Now we've got our top 10 HQ producers. This is June, week 3. We've got Walk 'em Down at 62K, taking that #1 spot. We've got Yusuf Jabran coming back in to defend the top 3 position at 56K at #2. This must be a mistake because Fido's at 73K. Is Fido in here? Is Boyd in here? All right. So we've got Fido somehow at 73K, but at #3. I don't know if the numbers are right, but let's give him a round of applause there. Then we've got Nova, rookie sensation, Mujib at 48K at #4. Adam Gabra making his way back into a top 5 at 47K at #5. And then we've got Mutman, a.k.a. Mike, making his way into the top 10 at #6 at 46K. And then we've got Super, as always, Mr. Consistent in the top 10 at #7 at 41K. And you've got Fine Line's finest, #8, Ab Nasser at 40K. Then you've got a veteran that always makes his way into the top 10, Jurg at number 9 at 37K. And then you've got Sadik slipping in at number 10 at 36K. So congrats to all those guys. Now, as you guys know, we go through a green tier, blue tier, red tier. And the reason that is because the biggest flaw that most people have in life, forget about sales, is they think that they're better than they are. And what the numbers do, who in here has heard the phrase that the numbers never lie? Because they don't. So whenever you think you're good, look at the numbers. Like, one of the most memorable conversations I had with somebody is like, they were like, yeah, man, I'm number 1 in my agency, but it really hit me when I looked at the Playbook leaderboard and I barely slipped into the top 20. So whenever you're good, always remember that someone out there is better than you, but when you have that mindset that I'm the best, you can't get really far. So what we've done is we've separated everybody into green tier, blue tier, and red tier to let you guys know where you stand and how much you should be pushing yourself. So the green tier is always going to be the best of the best, 40K monthly plus producers. You've got Tahir, Joseph Gibran, Fido, Mujib, Mike, and Super. They're in the green tier, so they have the pass to come in and if they need to show up late, they can. And the reason we allow them to is because we know if they're showing up late, it's probably because something important. It's not because they slept in or they decide to show up to work at 1 o'clock. Because unfortunately, you're not able to put up 60K a month showing up at 1 or 2 o'clock every day. It doesn't work that way. So those guys have the green pass. Blue pass is anybody that lies in between 15 and 39K. So those guys are about 44 agents, and everybody's goal in here should be at least to produce at a 40K minimum. Fortunately, everyone's standard is not crazy. Like mine was always like 50, 60K a month, or I was like extremely upset at myself, and I pushed myself harder. But everybody in here should be pushing themselves to the limit. There's no reason that anybody in here with the top 10 that we have and all of the special people, all of the great managers and the leaders that we have in here, that you shouldn't be, pushing yourself to the next level and utilizing everybody you have in here. But it comes down to you getting around those people, asking extra questions, standing out, being people that people want to flock to. Whenever you're putting up numbers, by nature, people want to get to know you that are at the top because they notice you. So everybody's goal in here should be to produce and get into that green tier. But nonetheless, we've got our red tier, and we've got anyone that's 14K and below that falls into that bracket. There's about 52 agents in there, with some of the lower ones at a really low level. Hopefully by week 5 numbers, they can recover. So the goal is everything in life is a transfer of energy. Good energy makes you perform better. Bad energy is like a cancer, and when that cancer spreads, like, who in here has been around a family member that has like really bad energy? Raise your hand. Do you like being around that person? Like, if you hear that person is there, are you more likely to say, I don't want to go there? That's the exact same thing. When people are not performing at a high level or decent level, or a level to even survive, they bring in bad energy. You do not want those people to affect you guys or hurt the rest of our environment. So the red tier is there for a reason. Now, unfortunately, I have heard of some extra stuff that is happening, like people that are in the red tier that are already not doing well, sneaking in through the side door. So I will let everybody in here know that if you are caught doing that, walking through that side door, we will earn you right away. Like, there won't even be a conversation. There's one of our virtual assistants actually watching those cameras on that side. So if you don't respect anybody in this office to just show up whenever you want, we don't have space for you, unfortunately, because you're telling us that you're above the rules. And does anyone like to be in an atmosphere where it's not fair for everybody? Like, the same rules that they follow, I put in the chat. Do I follow those exact same rules? And I'm not going to tell them something unless I'm following it. That's how business works, because the second that you think that you're better than people, people start to dislike you. You never want to be in an environment where you're disliked, or you think that for some reason that you can break the rules, but it all comes by not following the rules and helping the standard, because everything in life is a transfer of energy, and the transfer of energy is what leads the culture, So we want to continue to have the right people in here. Now, hey, if you just had a bad month or you were out of vacation, your manager is allowed to advocate for you. But unfortunately, if it's 2 or 3 times straight, we're not going to allow it to happen. So if you are struggling, nonetheless, we don't just want to kick people out of our office just because, the main goal here is to keep the right people in here that want to be here. But if you do need the help, reach your hand and tell people that you're struggling, you know? That's what the Playbook has been built for. That's why we have the resources that we do. It's to continue helping you guys get to the next level. That's why we put everything that we have in place. Now, who in here got a text for the Diamond Club? Raise your hands. Who in here has been in the Diamond Club before? So those of you that know, the Diamond Club is our next level training that we run on a quarterly basis. So previously, Tanner Mendelson, Dante Vichy ran it. Both of them are leading 7-figure-a-month agencies. Some of our top leaders in the agency, in the organization, and our company, and some of our biggest income earners. Just recently, we have rotated the baton to Omar El Sayed and Anas and Chauncey. Anas is outside of the country, but he will still be on. And what you learn in this club is how to recruit at a high level. But the most special thing about that club is it's hand-selected. We don't just let anyone in there, because in business, when you have a lot of the right people, you have a really good business. When you have a lot of the wrong people, you have a disaster. So we truly believe in putting people in there at the right time. Everybody's goal in here should be to stand out, to put up the numbers, be the person that everyone wants more of on their team, so you can get your foot into these doors, because that's where everything changes. Last year, I watched Tanner Mendelson win the Diamond Club, our first ever Diamond Club, and now look where he's at now. Kid is 22 years old, netting $250,000 a month. You don't see that, but those are the people that come into these groups, stand out, and those are the waves that they make, you know? So it's just amazing to see, you know, what these next level development leadership clubs have continued to do for everybody as a whole. And that's our coach with this. That's our goal overall, is to continue getting you guys to the next level and do it as fast as possible. So this time we brought in Omar and Anas, which have done it faster than anyone. Both 19 years old, clearing over $250,000 a month in net income. I don't care about gross income. It doesn't matter what hits a bank. The only thing that matters is what you're keeping. That's what we want to teach you all, and that's what you learn when you're learning from people that have built a business the right way. So that's kicking off tonight. Round of applause for anybody that is in there. Let's go. We will go ahead and kick this thing off. We've got a ton of announcements to go over this week. This is stuff that we have been working on for a very long time. So unfortunately, we tried this about 2 or 3 times with the wrong engineers, the wrong people. It cost us a lot of time and unfortunately a lot of money. But we have finally got it under control and everything is good to go. So those of you that know that we're on the old lead center, we are not using that lead center anymore. You cannot make purchases on there. You cannot, whatever, you know. So make a copy of your Google Sheet that's on there. That way, you know, you can make sure everything's secure in case something does happen with that Google Drive, because we're no longer using it. But nonetheless, we've got a ton of questions about the lead center. It is very straightforward, but I guess people just, you know, ask a ton of questions in the beginning because, you know, they are confused or just anxious. But we wanted to go over this so everybody's on the same page. It's very straightforward. So clicking into the dashboard, everybody sees my screen here. So it's going to be very similar to a previous CRM that we've used with our own touch. Everyone in here is familiar with Ringy. So the first phase of this lead center is going to be, obviously, you can purchase your leads on there. You can work your leads, the whole 9. But outside of that, the next thing that's coming is a fully AI-powered CRM where the messages are going to go instantly as soon as you buy a lead. For the real-time leads, as soon as you know, replies and you're not on the clock, it's after 9 o'clock, an AI message will go out. So this is the dashboard. So what's operational right here on this first row is the leads today. So if you bought 100 leads today, 100 leads will show up there. And then moving forward, if you got a new text and you haven't opened it yet, it'll show there. The amount of outbound calls that you've made will show there. How many inbound calls you've received will show there. And then you have your lead performance here, right? So this is really important because a lot of times, like, people will be running 2 lead types and like, hey, I wonder which one has the best return of interest, right? So on the lead performance, you're going to be able to see all your leads, real-time age, but the even cooler thing is you're going to be able to switch by lead type here. Now, outside of that, you're going to be able to see how many leads you purchased, how many leads you sold, the sold percent, your cost per acquisition, And this is the most important thing, because I was talking to a really good friend of mine that was like the biggest producer that I saw like in the industry before like people started putting up crazy numbers. And the reason that he's special to me is because I helped train him. He found me on YouTube 2 years ago. He's just very genuine guy and really cool guy, right? And we were just catching up yesterday, but we were talking because he's having so many agents fall off the books, right? And I'm like, okay, what's going on? And he's like, yeah, so I run this type of lead and this is what they all do. Because I'm like, what does the pattern look like when they're buying leads? And I'm going to show you guys how this is so important to be looking at your CPA. He's like, yeah, we run this $50 to $70 trucker lead. He's like, we might close 1 out of every 10, 1 out of every 15. Who in here can do quick math?
That's bad.
If you can close 1 out of every 10 and you're paying $60 a lead, what is your CPA?
$700.
If you close 1 out of 15?
That's one or 4,000.
You're falling out of the business is what that means if 2 or 3 of those charge back and you're a new agent. So it's really important when you're looking at a lead is forget about, oh, I closed 1 out of 10. If you paid $60 a lead and you close 1 out of 10, you just paid $600 for a close. That's horrible. Like it should be at no more than, you know, with the system and all the stuff that we have in place, your CPA shouldn't be costing you more than $100 if you're really good on the phone, and max $200 if you're average, you know? And it can be even lower if you're running an age lead. Where's my boy Chris in here? How much did you spend on leads yesterday? Get up here real quick. How long have you been in the business?
3 weeks.
Get up here, let him see you on the camera. I want to spotlight you. So 3 weeks, you got your first deposit the other day, right?
Yeah,
What did we spend on leads yesterday?
just $100.
What did you write off of those age leads the first day?
Around like $699.
And the second follow-up, right?
Yeah.
So imagine like his ROI came back the first day. Brand new agent. Let's give him a round of applause. But that's why we do the stuff that we do, you know? Like, look at his ROI. If he closes 6 out of that batch and he spent $100, like, bro, his ROI is $25. His CPA is $25. Less. Heck, it's like between 15 and that 20 range. There's nowhere that you can do that at. But we want you all to be able to track that stuff because it's really important in the business to know your numbers. If you don't know that, you don't know your business. If you don't know your numbers, you don't have a business. That's the reality of it, right? So the ROI is there, the average AP of sale, you see your appointments here. I'll show you guys here in a minute how you guys can schedule those and whatnot. And if you click this edit button, you have a mark, complete, modify, missed appointment. Now, if you are looking to start ordering leads, you see the button here. You click on the leads, you see everything here. I'm gonna start with the age leads because this is really important for new agents. I always recommend for new agents to start here. And this is actually some sauce that I got from Tanner Mendelson. Playbook standout right now. They have the most growth we've seen in the entire agency. And the reason that is because he's putting pressure on new agents to start buying leads as soon as the first deposit comes. And when people think like, hey, like who in here is a new agent that hasn't bought leads yet? So we've got, look around, there's a bunch of them, right? It's not very convenient to have to spend $600 to $1,000 on your first lead order, is it? Even the vets can tell you that. But the reason we put this in place so you can go in there and buy 125 leads for $100. And that's where you should start. So as soon as you're getting your first couple deposits, the name of this business is urgency. Once you have some skin in the game, now you start moving different. So the goal is as soon as that first deposit drops, take $200, $250, whatever it is, you know, doesn't have to be a crazy amount. Go in there and buy the oldest age lead. That's what you should be doing, you know. So I wanted to show you guys how to navigate the age leads. A bunch of questions keep coming in about this. I don't know why. It's very simple. So you go to the age leads. You know, you'll click the lead type you want. I would stick to the lead type. This is really important. Stick to the lead type that your upline is guiding you and make sure you speak to them because you want to be able to listen to them till you get to 40K a month and then get creative. Till you're doing 40K, like who in here is not doing 40K a month? Let me see some hands, rounds of hands. Like you should be asking your upline for advice on everything until you get to 40K a month. You should be doing exactly as he leads you. Because the best part about this business, I was telling somebody this on our Kate and Fernando and all of them were there. I was talking about this on our manager call yesterday, but like the best part about this business is it's incentivizing, right? Like none of us in here make money unless you're making money. Think about that. So it's in our best interest to tell you what's working out there. And that's the best thing. So it's like, but for you guys, it's so easy to get shiny object syndrome, which is I'm going to talk about that at the end of this. But just continue to ask your upline for advice so they can guide you. You know, they're there for a reason. We're here for a reason. Ask anybody. So you'll go here, you'll search for the lead type you're going to buy. Right now, we've moved all of our leads that we've uploaded already to the 181 age bucket. None of them have been in lead buckets before on the age tour. So you've got 62,000 that are sitting at 75 cents. And the cool thing about this is you can go down and find the lead by state. So this is another thing that will help you get up and running really quick. Let's say you're in New Asia and you live in Florida, right? It's not very convenient to have to buy 15 states to buy leads, is it? It's not. I'll tell you guys that straight up. That's not convenient. Unfortunately, you know, it took us a little bit longer than we wanted to have something like this come out, but now it's here and it's bulletproof. So let's say you're in Florida, you want to buy 200 leads, right? So you'll go in here, you'll type in 200, and you'll click add, boom, $150 for 200 leads, one state. You don't have to buy any other states. Like imagine the other way. If you buy leads from a lead vendor, let's say they don't have like an age lead and you have to get leads everywhere like we used to do. You know, we used to do that as well. You're having to now buy 15 states, and as a new agent, it's not in your favor, you know? So like this is a reason that we put this in place. So go in there and buy as many leads as you need for age leads till you get really good on the phone. My recommendation is, like, if I was a new agent, this is the exact same play that I would run. Till I was writing 10K a week, I'd be writing age leads. In my personal perspective, there's no such thing as a special lead. Anybody that does think that, look at them. They're not consistent with their numbers, and their team results aren't consistent either. That's how you know somebody is you know, just making up some type of theory. And that's the thing that has let us stand out in the industry, you know, that we're very consistent in what we do, and we continue to innovate these things so you guys can continue to get to the next level as well. Now, you can also put other items in your cart. Let's say you wanted to mix real-time leads and make a purchase from here, right? So this is here, and if you click what we collect, it'll tell you exactly what's going to be in the lead. Every single lead type has exactly in there what we collect. So you've got veterans, widows, final expense, general life, and truckers. Now, we got a lot of questions about the truckers. So the trucker lead is advertised as trucker IUL. Like that's that niche. If you run that niche, run it. If you don't, you know, don't sit here and lead hop and experiment. It's not in your favor, or it actually hurts people. Ask some of the people that you saw on the leaderboard previously and you don't see them anymore, they fell victim of that. That's why they're not there anymore. So it's like you don't want to sit there and get shiny object syndrome. Stick to what your upline is telling you to do most importantly, and stick to what's working, because this is a game of consistency, and that's what I'll break into my training after this. But all this is here. So let's say you want to add 60 veteran velocity leads. You add it and you see everything here in your cart now. You see in the real-time lead, there's a $250 minimum to purchase in there, and the age leads is a $100 minimum, because the biggest problem that I see with agents and leads is they'll buy like $50 worth. Like one of the managers was telling me, like one of their guys was running their mouth, right? Like this is when the first lead center got out, and I went to look at him, like, bro, he spent like $150 on leads the very first week that we came out with the old lead center, and he's complaining. Like, you can't spend $50 and then complain why you didn't get it closed. Does that even sound realistic? So like the reason that we've set these limits is because we want to be able to give yourself a fair shot to actually see some type of result after. Because if you're going to spend $20 or $40 and complain that you didn't close anything, like you just didn't have enough reps, you know, and realistically you can't expect to turn $20 into like $5,000 unless you're a genie or something, you know, it doesn't really work that way. Now, outside of the real-time leads, you'll see that we have the launch tag effects. So this recommendation came from, there's a vendor out there that has $1 FX leads. This is the exact same thing, but the only difference with ours is we don't sell them 20 times. So these are here available if you like running final expense, which a lot of people do. You know, they don't want to, for example, assist veterans or widows. They like talking to people that are a final expense client. You can go here, and it's the same thing as age lead setup. You go in here, you click how many you want in that state, and you add it to your cart, and you see you can buy from the age leads, real time, the $1 effects, all in the same cart and check out. And it's very simple. You click checkout and you are good to go. Now, the thing that makes us stand out, and I can confidently say that Nobody has this and has it in their agent's best interest, because who in here has looked at other lead vendors? Everybody, right? You all see those prices? You know why that is? Is because it's a business. For us, if it was a business, we'd release it to the entire world. Our mission here is to be able to continue giving you all the next foot forward and putting you on positions to win. But the reason that all of this is set up the way that it is, and even the real time and the precision that's coming out, is because we want to be able to put you on a position that you're not having to spend 50, 70 bucks a lead. Because what I've always looked at as a leader, and this is what's allowed the playbook to stand out, is I don't care if one person can do it. Like if he's doing 200K a month, I don't care. And the reason I don't care is because if it's not duplicatable, it's not something that we can all build off of. It only works for him. If you want to build something special, it has to be able to be duplicatable and something that everybody can do. And the reason that we're going to be able to stand out is because the next level filtering, you guys see all of this, but the back end is insane. Imagine the math that we've came up is, this is a crazy stat. 15 to 18% of leads that come in are not qualified to go out to agents. You know what that means? They're over 85 and older. They're in a state that you're not licensed in, and it came in because there's no lead center to connect you. They're in New York or something, a state that you can't sell, or they've been already sold.
Disconnected numbers.
Disconnected number, most importantly. Like I was looking through our lead center, it's already removed 2,600 disconnected numbers before they even came in and were able to go out to agents, because we validate all numbers. And then outside of that, it's persistency, right? Whenever you sell a lead, like this is the most important thing, because we had this happen 3 times last week with the exact same agent. He sold this dude's client because he was buying leads somewhere else. Like we can't manage what you sold there and here because it's all over the place. And now you're putting yourself in a position where your persistency is getting destroyed. And you see the carriers terminate now without even giving us a heads up. So our main goal behind this with the filtering is to protect everybody's closes in here. And it only works if we work in unity, you know? And if you don't work in unity, you're the only one that pays that price later on, because when all of the agents outside are closing your leads because you decide to go here and there, you're the one that loses carriers. Everyone else is fine. So it's like that's our main goal behind this, is making sure that not everybody in here is closing each other's policies. And some red flags to look out for is you see all these lead vendors nowadays, they're dropping leads into your sheet without a date and time. Why would somebody do that? Anyone in here have a brain? Because they're giving your leads over and over again, and the same leads that you're bragging about closing 10 leads on are the same leads that fell on 6 different agents' lead sheet. And you're not looking at the big picture because you're not protecting your closes. It doesn't matter how many closes you're getting if it's not being protected. So that is the main thing ultimately for us to be able to protect, is each other's business. And with an agency of this size, the way that we used to run our leads, for example, we can't stop the same lead from going to his sheet, because we can't stop the person behind the computer. But the whole purpose of this lead center is to be able to filter the data, and over 18% of leads fall into that bracket. That either that it's a disconnected number, somebody that's been sold already, over 85 and you can't sell him anyway. So this is the whole purpose of this, is to set you all up to win and continue to put you all in a position where you guys are winning, because we're protecting your business and keeping everything on the books as much as possible as we can for you guys. Now, the setup is very, very simple. We'll go into that real quick. Now, I'm very against using a Google Sheet. You should never be using a Google Sheet, because that's like the old way of dialing. If you go to the leads tab, you can search like certain months. You can search lead types that you've bought. Like here, I've got certain different lead types, tiers. You can look for a certain state that you want to dial. You can look at time zones here. You can look at the only show. Like for example, let's say I want to dial like all of my Social Security objections. You can click that and they'll all show up there. Now, let's say you want to exclude like, hey, like I want to look at everything except my sold policies. You can exclude your sold policies from popping up into that list, and so on. You just click reset. Now, the super cool thing is once you click the client's name, everything pops up here. You can disposition from here. You can make your notes here. You can fast people search here. You can make an appointment here, super sick. You can mark somebody sold. All you do is put in the monthly premium. Boom, you've got 120, and then it calculates the annual for you right away. Now, this is really important for the lead replacement because unfortunately there is always some bad apples. And if you are caught doing this, you won't be on the lead center anymore. There's people that are just taking numbers, and I'm going to pre-phrase this in front of you so we don't have to do this to anybody, obviously, because we don't want to. If you are caught just flagging numbers as disconnected because they didn't answer, we're just going to freeze your account and not let you use it anymore. Because unfortunately, there's always bad apples and people want to try stuff. But to let you all know what's going on behind the scenes, as soon as you mark a number as disconnected, the admin is going to call it and make sure. If it is disconnected and it slipped through, which might be like maybe like 1 out of every 15 of your leads, to give you guys a good stat, they'll approve it. If they didn't, they'll deny it. And on our side, we have a percent of how many leads you're flagging down for those, unfortunately, people that are just bad apples and like to take advantage of everything. Because when that happens, when that stuff is going through, guess what? Our percent of leads that are getting kicked out goes up. What happens with that?
Price.
We have to raise all the lead prices on everybody next. So it's really important to just be a good human being and not do stuff that sleazy, scumbags would do in their business, because you don't need it, and all it does is affect everybody else, and it ruins what we're trying to build for the team, So you're going to see your replacement options, disconnected number. Let's say it's a lead that you're not licensed and you didn't select it when you're onboarding, or they're over the age of 85, right? So if that's the case, you would just select it. You can put details like, let's say, hey, they were 74, but they're really 94 when you called, right? The admin will check it. They'll fast people search real quick, confirm, and then same thing, within 24 hours. Typically, it's in the first 2 hours of the morning, but I like to say 24 hours just in case it's not, because they might be backed up. You can click replacement. Now, on the real-time leads, you've got 72 hours. On the age leads, you've got 24 hours, and the reason that is because the age leads is supposed to help with the error and all of the leads that are getting kicked out from disconnected numbers and all of the stuff that's on the back end. And no other lead vendor out there that is even similar to this even lets you flag a disconnected number on age leads. Go look at their lead replacement policies and read the fine lines. So all of that has been set up to make sure that we continue to put you guys in the best possible position to get the quality of lead, because unfortunately it's not your fault if leads are coming in that are not even qualified for you to even be sitting down and talking to begin with, So that's what we're going to be able to help with the filtering, protecting each other's book of business. And you'll see all of the information here that is on the contact info and the lead data. So you could click show all, and if you'll see, if it was a veteran or widow, you'll see the military status. If it was a final expense, you'll see the beneficiary relationship, general life, same thing. If it was a trucker, you'll see the driver type, length of CDL. If you don't want to see that stuff, all you do is click hide empty. And then the same thing, what I'll wrap up with is the opportunity screen. It's basically like a breakdown of all of the dispositions, right? So if you see through here, let's say where's King Moa? Remember my missed appointments when you had first started dialing? What did those do for you? Was it good?
I closed I remember my first 10K week out of the appointments that you already missed just by dialing behind you. And it was my bread and butter for a while.
Yeah, so this is really good because I would do this twice a day, right? Twice a day I just go back to my missed appointments, social banking objections, sold, even it gives you policy at risk, right? As soon as the new CRM messaging is inputted in this, you'll be able to put policy at risk, and it'll send it a message again till you get it back in the books, right? But this is really cool because you can go here and scroll down your missed appointments. You can go here and scroll down your social banking objections. And then the best part is, right, if you click the dashboard, and let's say you had a lead, right, that missed your appointment. If you click missed appointment for Diane, right? If you click missed appointment for Diane, it drags it right there automatically. So a lot of cool stuff that we've inputted into this. Now, what's coming next is going to be the precision OTP verified leads. So what that means is that these precision leads are on the phone verified through the lead form. The client has to put in a 4-digit code to submit the lead form. So that's in beta testing right now. I have a top closer that is testing out the first 20 veteran precision leads that we've generated. There's 4 data points there, and I'll show you guys how to find that. We have these hidden right now because we don't want people to go in there and buy them when they're not available yet. So let me unhide those real quick. So you'll see those all available here, and look at any different lead vendor in the market. You could see that this is half of the price what anyone out there has. I know trucker leads are hitting like $75. And again, our intention here is not to retire somewhere in Spain off of the lead center, but it's to be able to put you in a position to win, right? Or else everything would be priced crazy just like it is out there. Ask anybody out there, maybe the cheapest precision veteran lead you'll find out there is going to be $40 at minimum, and it's not sold 10 times here. And you'll find the data points, beneficiary, military status, coverage amount, best time to contact, all of that stuff is there. So those will be up this week, and you should only be running those again if you're doing 40K a month. Then you can get creative with your business. Till then, you don't have a lead problem, you have a you problem. And what I wanted to end it with is a lot of people have been seeing the hype around the inbound leads, right? Who in here saw inbound leads on Instagram? Just about everybody, right? Now, everybody wants to think that, hey, let me try the next best thing, the next big thing, and you should never have that mindset, because the people that I see that are closing what they are is because of the skill set they've developed, you know? Like if you look at it, you don't see many new agents running up 10, 15K weeks, running high intent leads or running inbound leads, whatever the case is, because they're not skilled yet to do so. The same elite closer can take that same lead and submit 10K a day. But that new agent is not even able to submit 10K in 2 weeks. And what it ends up turning into, because the reason I'm saying this, because the option to run the inbound leads is on there, but I also want to let people know who should be doing what, because that's the biggest flaw that producers develop, is once you're producing at that 40K level, start experimenting, right? Because if you're not at that 40K level, it's like running a slot machine. Who in here has ever went to a casino? How many times do you get lucky in a slot machine? Not many times, right? So what it turns into is like a slot machine. So, all of this stuff is, once you get good on the phone, like, trust me, it's in our best interest to tell you guys what you're going to do and how you're going to make the most money, because if you guys make a lot of money, we make a lot of money. That's how the business works, So just continue to remember, like, always ask your upline for guidance. Don't get shiny object syndrome. Don't have a bad week and run this next lead and then this next lead and this next lead. Like, look at the guys that were doing 40, 50K months ago that aren't able to do 20K now. They fell victim to that. That's real. 92% of life insurance agents fail because of that. They fail because of the shiny object syndrome. They don't have accountability. And what I wanted to end you guys with is, once you guys are in that position and you guys are doing well, like, we come out with stuff for you guys to continue getting to the next level. Like, we have something coming out that's called Launch Recruit, right? We're going to hand it out to our managers first and then to the Diamond Club. And the Launch Recruit, what that is I'm not sure if anyone has seen the link in my bio, but it's the exact same thing that our company provides us with, but we've been able to take it to the next level to make your all's job easier. So they click the link in your bio, they get an automated message, and then the AI responds to them till they get them on your calendar, and all you do is get on that last call. But once those guys that we're getting in the Diamond Club and they're standing out, like, trust me, we want to give you all the resources to help you to continue to grow and make your old job easier. Like, this tech stack has cost us a couple $100,000. That Launch Recruit that's coming out for those agents, guess their price tag. I know people selling that same bullshit for $250 to their agent. You know how much we're handing it out for? Let me get some guesses. 0. The reason that is because we want to put you on positions to win. We look at the long-term picture here. We're not in here trying to milk everybody for every dollar because they signed up to work with the best agency in the country. We want to set you all up to win big time, and we want you all to be in a position where your all's business is sustainable and it has long-term longevity. And that's what makes us stand out, is that we're not here for today, tomorrow, We're consistent. And what I wanted to end you guys with is, this business comes down to those 3 things, right? You have to have consistency. The way that you do one thing is the way that you do everything. You show up one way is the way that you show up every day. You should have the same exact schedule every single day. You should have the same exact, lead order. Whatever that you're doing, it should be the same thing. Like I never was the guy that, hey, jump to, for example, widows because this guy just wrote 60K this month. Like, bro, I write 50, 60K every single month. Why am I jumping when I don't need to, Like, trust me, if it was good, everybody would be telling you about it. So, like, the biggest thing is to be consistent because, unfortunately, in this business, there's a lot of noise that you hear outside, and it's like this guy's doing well on this week, and then this guy does it, this guy does it. Like, our superpower, the first 2 years that allowed us to go from 0 to 1 million and then 1 to 10 million in 2 years, nobody ever in the industry has done it, is that we were very consistent in what we were doing and the communication behind it with the leadership. That's what stood us out. Everybody thinks that it's some like crazy special thing. It's not, right? And then outside of that is just having the right mindset every single day because you have to show up with, the mindset to win. Like if you're showing up and you're down about what happened yesterday, you lost already. The day ended before it started. So you have to come in with the right mindset. Every single week, it's a new week. Whatever happened to you last week, it doesn't matter. It's a new week. Think about it this way. If it's a different day, you're talking to different people, it's different conversations, how can you get the same result? Does that mathematically make sense to anybody in here? It's impossible, right? You can't get the same result every single day. It's impossible. If you're talking to 200 people a day, 200 leads being dialed, you can't get the same result. The only way you get the same result is if you had the same shitty mindset as that you did the day before. If you have that same shitty mindset, you're going to continue getting the same result because the mindset didn't change. So you have to remember that it's all in the mindset, right? Like it doesn't matter. Like I'm the guy that you put his back on the wall when freaking 500 people are coming in to kill him. I want to be that person because my mindset is built to last. Like if you want to take me out in business, you better bring in the biggest freaking rocket that you have to send in to take me out because I'm not going down easy. That's a mindset that I bring in every single day, but some of you all have a bad day and you let it ruin your entire week because you're not sharp up here. If you're not winning up here, you're not going to win the day. So you have to come in with that right mindset, Before people wake up, I've already worked for 1 hour. Before they wake up, I've been in the gym already for 1 hour. Like that's the mindset. You want to keep your edge, but it's the way that you start your day and the way that you have your habits, So you wouldn't win the day, but it all comes down to having that consistent in your schedule. And then outside of that, it's urgency, right? The best people that I've seen that come into this business, they come in with the right urgency. They don't take 2 or 3 days to do something. They do it right away. You look at all of the top guys that are right now in our organization, those guys have the most urgency because they don't have any special power, but what they do have is they have the most urgency. Whenever you're told to do something or whenever you're working on fixing something, if you do it right away, you're going to win the most. But the key is having the urgency and moving with that. You close 3 policies, you go for 4 or 5. Whenever you have that mindset, you become more urgent, That's the name of the business, is continuing to raise that bar and doing it faster than the time before. That's what we stand for. That's why we continue to rotate these trainings and bring in the next round of guys because those guys did it faster. We want the next person to do it faster than them. That's why we do everything that we do, But let's bring it in. Let's break it down. This quarter is going to be the biggest quarter. This quarter is going to be the biggest quarter. Q3 is the most important quarter of the entire year because the first half of the year is bullshit. Nobody cares about how you started the year. Bring it in. Nobody cares about how you started the year. It all comes back to how you finish it. And Q3 is the most pivotal quarter of everybody's entire year. The energy and the urgency that you bring into this quarter is what dictates how you're going to end your year. And the only thing that should matter is everybody here pushing themselves, continuing to get to the next level and doubling, if not tripling. Last year, we went from 3 to 10 million in 6 months. So it doesn't matter what happened the first half of the year. If you continue to move at that speed, the second half of the year is different. Everything changes, but we are so back, baby. Dominate on 3, dominate on me. 1, 2, 3. Dominate. Let's go.